Now, with just a week to go to the UK Parliament's vote on Theresa May's Brexit deal, the government is facing contempt proceedings over its refusal to publish its own legal advice on the draft withdrawal proposal. The Speaker of the House of Commons said a debate on Brexit that's due to start today will be delayed so that MPs can vote on a motion of contempt, which has been tabled by the Labour opposition and 5 other parties.
I have considered the matter carefully, and I am satisfied that there is an arguable case that a contempt has been committed. I am therefore giving precedence to a motion to be tabled tonight before the House rises and to be taken as first business tomorrow, Tuesday.
Well, that was the British Speaker of the House of Commons. Let's go straight to Westminster and to Vincent McAviney. Good morning to you, Vincent. Just explain to us, what is this contempt case all about?
Good morning, Belle. Well, they've got the Christmas decorations up here on Downing Street now. There isn't much festive cheer after that decision by the Speaker, John Bercow. As we heard there, he said that the House was in contempt. And what this is all about is the government's legal advice on its deal, and specifically the backstop, the arrangement to prevent a hard border in the Republic of Ireland between the North or in the Irish Sea. Now, the government is under pressure to publish that legal advice. Geoffrey Cox, the Attorney General, who is the main legal officer of the government, went to the Commons yesterday. He took questions on the advice, gave an overview of it. It's quite an unprecedented, sort of not normal thing that he would do, but the government is refusing to publish that legal advice on the principle that it's confidential. Like with your lawyer, what you discuss with them, it's client-attorney privilege. Well, they say it's the same for the government, and it would have serious repercussions if legal advice given to ministers had to be published in this way. But the opposition parties aren't happy with that. Of course, we were meant to start these 5 8-hour-long days of debate ahead of the vote next Tuesday, but they say this is too important. We need to see that advice. So they have tabled this amendment, and one of those MPs is the Nick Thomas-Symonds, the Shadow Security Minister for Labour. Here's why he said it was so important.
Government should do the right thing and make this full advice available. With so much at stake for all our constituents, with 8 days to go before the vote on the deal, this House and this country deserves better from this government.
However, the government has countered this. They have tried to refer it on to the Privileges Committee to investigate whether or not it fulfills the criteria for contempt of court. So it will be quite a tricky parliamentary protocol-y day here.
All right, well, with all of that in mind, the Attorney General did publish something, a summary of his advice on Brexit. What was in that?
Well, Geoffrey Cox got up and he told the MPs that on this issue of the backstop, which is what they're really worried about, backbench MPs and Northern Irish MPs, they think that basically the deal that's been signed means that the UK could indefinitely be stuck in the customs union rules, that if there is no deal agreed over the next couple of years, that then the backstop would kick in, and that is to prevent a hard border in Northern Ireland, to prevent any kind of resurgence of the troubles felt in that part of the world. Now, Geoffrey Cox did say in his advice that it wasn't unilateral, it wasn't for sort of both sides, you couldn't individually end the backstop, it had to be agreed by both sides. Here's what he had to say in the House of Commons.
There is, therefore, no unilateral right for either party to terminate this arrangement. This means that if no superseding agreement can be reached within the implementation period, the protocol would be activated, and in international law would subsist even if negotiations had broken down. And no
Now, Geoffrey Cox went on to say that this was a calculated risk and that he did not believe that the UK could be permanently trapped in this arrangement. But it really is the last thing the Prime Minister needs. She was out on the airwaves yesterday, going on morning TV shows, talking about the importance of this vote. She's still trying to build pressure on MPs by speaking directly to people, because in a week's time she'll be facing that vote. And normally the carol, the 12 days of Christmas, well, it ends with a partridge in a pear tree. But for Theresa May, it could be, from her MPs, if she loses, a P45. That means a dismissal slip here in the UK, and she could have to move out of here if she can't hold on to her sort of deal and try and get it through.